And let's talk one more football story, I think, and that is Michigan is apparently put an offer on the table, and they've kind of slid it towards Jim Harbaugh from the 49ers and said, hey, we want you to coach here. And you know what else? We'll give you 6 years and $48 million to do so. Now, if you don't know Jim Harbaugh, he built up the Stanford program in college football. Then the 49ers were like, hey, why don't you just come over upstate a little bit more? We'll give you a ton of money. Took that team to 3 NFC championships in a row. Not having the greatest year this year. Everybody's down on him. And his alma mater, Michigan, where he was quarterback for, is now throwing out that money. Do you think he's going to take it, Lucas?
That's very hard to. That's a very hard question. I think he may take it. I don't think he should take it. You know, he's done so much already in the NFL, and my gut, I think I really would like him to stay in the NFL, and I'm leaning more towards that he's going to stay with the 49ers, but we'll just have to see. I mean, he might take that money and just go back to college football. Very big possibility.
Yeah, I would say that there's probably a strong possibility. You know, staying with the 49ers, obviously he's already there. He has a history. He's had success there. And, you know, you don't get higher in your career than the pros, than the NFL, right? But there's a lot of money on the line coming from Michigan, a lot of security there. College is, you know, they're a very good football school. So it's not like he's really taken that huge of a step back. And
well, I mean, Michigan,
there's a sentimental value. Like, it was his school.
Yeah.
So that
now,
might
Michigan
be...
has been on a downward trend the past couple of years. They have not had as good of a traditional program as they traditionally are. But still, you bring a big name like Jim Harbaugh there, you're right. They are going to get bigger recruits.
And clearly that's the reason that they're because they know they've been a big football school, and they know that he is a coach that could bring them back to there. He's had success in the NFL. He's had success at Stanford. He's had success many places. He's the kind of coach that could bring Michigan back to where they used to be and where they want to be again, because that's big for the school. That's big money for the school. That's why they're putting up so much money too, because they know they still have enough of that lingering reputation too to really ride a new great coach and get the recruits that they need and get the success that they need.
Well, before the 49ers, I think, decide to even let him even consider that offer, they need to look back on what Jim Harbaugh has done for that franchise since he's got there. What has it been? 3 or 4 NFC championships?
3, yeah.
Three, and a Super Bowl appearance. They've had more Pro Bowlers over the past how many years than any other team?
That is the truth. Year, I mean, they have had the most Pro Bowl. I mean, and
this is the only bad year.
You got to say that he can coach up players. That's for sure.
This is the only bad year they've had, but they've had a lot of injuries. They don't have, in my opinion, the best secondary that they used to have. They could use a new secondary.
Well, they lost their safety, Dante Whitner.
Yep.
They have had some suspensions.
They lost
some injuries. They pretty much lost their whole linebacking core, which was their heart and soul of that team. They're all gone. They just had to cut Ray McDonald amid rape allegations. You're right. They have had a lot of turmoil this year.
Frank Gore.
Well, he's not going to be Frank Gore ever again. He's over the hill. But you know, if you look at them and you're saying they're having a down year for them. Yeah, I would kill to have that type of a down year for the Skins. All right, I would kill everybody. All right, I wouldn't really kill anybody. All right, I'm not that type of person. But I would do some bad things to good people. How about that?
Okay.
You know, I think they need to at least give him another year. He needs to give it another year because winning changes everything. When you're losing, you know, but when you lose, you're so quick to throw everything out of the window, which you just did. And that's basically what's going on. There's so much negativity because of the media's blow everything out of proportion. There might be some, you know, disagreements here and there between the coach and the players and the upper management, but you have to put that aside. It's one season. You can't win every time unless you're the Patriots. Can't win every season. Or Peyton Manning.
Here's the question then, though, that I would pose to you guys. Do you think 49ers under Jim Harbaugh have a good chance of winning a Super Bowl. Because if he, or do you think Jim Harbaugh thinks that? Because if he thinks that he still has a good chance of winning the Super Bowl with that team, I don't see him going anywhere until that's achieved. But if he thinks that, no, we're just going to continually, we'll get to the playoffs often, but we're never going to really push, or there's not a very good chance of them pushing that Super Bowl run, he might say, well, I've had good success. I've done as well as I'm probably going to do. Maybe I'll do a little bit better. But maybe it's time to look elsewhere and to go somewhere that maybe I'll be able to see like the higher level championships. Not, you don't get higher level than the NFL, but get the NCAA championships and things like that.
Yeah, and I really don't see, yes, I do, to answer your question, I do think he can win a Super Bowl. There's only really two things standing in his way. Number one would be, like Lucas was saying, the secondary does need a little bit of improvement. Their corners are a little bit lacking. Their safeties need a little bit of help. But honestly, you get Alden Smith, Navarro Bowman, Patrick Willis, all those guys healthy again, and I don't know if the secondary is as big of a problem because a good pass rush can cover up a lot of those problems. And number two thing that I think they need, and that's not even a running back, because running backs, they're almost a dime a dozen nowadays. He'll be able to find a good one because they have a solid offensive line. I think it's Colin Kaepernick that's going to hold him back. I don't think he is a quarterback, Super Bowl winning quarterback. So that's one of the things I look for them to address. And it's going to be weird to say, whereas I think they had a better shot at winning a Super Bowl with a quarterback like Alex Smith than they do with Colin Kaepernick. So, take with that what you will.
With Jim Harbaugh, he's their best chance to win a Super Bowl, no matter who's on the field.
No.
I mean, you look what he did with Alex Smith. Kaepernick is still, even though he hasn't had the best season, Kaepernick's still playing better than a lot of other quarterbacks. Aside from their secondary, that defensive line, Justin Smith may retire this year, and he's still a big anchor to that defense. Mm-hmm. And they still do not have, I don't care what he says, they still do not have a true number one wide receiver. Crabtree is not a true number one receiver. Vernon Davis has faded away.
Well, he was supposed to step up. Crabtree was supposed to step up this year, and he never did. So.
He hasn't.
And Anquan Bolden's still, so.
And then
when you say that,
fresh pair of legs in the running back position, all that will help. Mm-hmm. But they just you got to give them at least this off season to regroup, get those injured players back, and let them land on their feet.
Yeah, but Lucas, the way you're saying that sounds to me like the odds are kind of stacked in. Like, yeah, Jim Harbaugh is the 49ers' best chance.
Yeah, they are.
But does that mean that we can confidently say that with him they have a very good chance of making that Super Bowl win, or is it just he's their best chance?
Yeah,
and that they're unlikely.
I think
he has that caliber.
Yeah, he's got that. I mean, you look at all the coaches that have coached them in the past, and
Mike
they didn't go anywhere.
Cannot win with them. Cannot play with them. I'm going to pull down my pants and moon the team. Do you remember when Mike Singletary did that?
I mean, it's just like you
guys have some duty, and he wiped his butt in front of him. That is not a Super Bowl winning head coach. Jim Harbaugh is.
Yeah, and he's their best chance. They got to stick with him, and he's got to understand. He wants to win at the highest level. He wants to win that Super Bowl just as badly as they do. He's got to stick it out. It's just one season.
Yeah, well, and it's really on the 49ers to stick it out, because you're right. He's still under contract. He ain't going anywhere. No. Unless they say he can go somewhere, he's not going anywhere. So it's really on the 49ers. But let us know what you think. Are they going to hang on to him? Do you think he's going to find greener pastures in Michigan? Should he or shouldn't he go? Hit us up. Comments down below. Of course, @What'sMyFace on Twitter, Google Plus, and Facebook. Always good ways of getting a hold of us.